listen. Here, okay. Inside the marriage. This is it right now. Therapy. You're the witnesses.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Wait. Well, I guess I'll just use it. We started with me like Isaac on the Love Boat.
I loved that show.
But that's the move. That's the Isaac. Love.
I always wanted to be Julie McCoy, except I hate water. So
Yeah, that wouldn't be so great.
probably not the best.
I'm
application.
Gopher, and we know it, so it's fine.
No, you're Captain Stupid.
The bald guy.
Stop.
No, Captain Stupid.
Hey, everybody. Whoops,
Hi.
I dropped my glasses. Hold
Okay.
on.
We're a freaking mess. Go that way.
Oh, left. Okay.
All
right. Hey.
So this is a true Sunday drive. We don't know where we're going. We know what we're doing. We know what we're going to talk about, but we don't. That's all we know.
But I'm in a good mood.
Why?
We got some vitamin D today.
We
Vitamin D, sunshine, and a little bit of Dawson.
We got some vitamin H too. Some
You have a green arrow, Turon. You have a green love.
There we go. Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. So this was a day on my calendar where I actually have several different sets of clients that are in town. Met with each of them over the past several days, and today kind of was follow-up, kind of re-exploration and doing a little touring on their own. So I found myself available
With
to
your
go.
family. Wow.
What?
Yeah, amazing.
I was so excited because I got to go see my son Dawson play in his first soccer game for the new team. So we had to drive out to Auburndale. We could have done a Sunday drive while we went out there, but
Yeah, it's a long way out there.
It is a long way out there,
So
but-
his team is probably a top 20 team in Florida. That's their first game ever, this new team they brought together. Our son plays left back.
yeah.
He played outstanding. They lost the game 1-0, but they got a little robbed. But that's okay. We're not gonna like make. We're
We're not going to blame it on the refs.
We're not going to, but we could if we wanted to. But that's okay. I actually referee soccer occasionally, so I understand it's a difficult job. But
when someone's shirt is being pulled out 5 feet.
This was a poor performance by the referee.
Anyway,
they can't all be gyms.
But we're not talking about soccer today. I'm talking about the fact that we got in Florida. I got some vitamin D, and I will tell you a very, very real thing. It does make you happier.
It does.
It really does. You know, a lot of people move to Florida, especially if they're older-ish. I've heard a lot of my clients, specifically those that are like retiring or of that age, that the warmth really helps joints and muscles. Which I mean, let's face it, we hurt when we wake up. It's full on Quasimodo and like snap crackle pop when I wake up.
I'm Quasimodo. Wow.
I am when I wake up in the morning. It takes me like several steps to like for my ankles to work and for me to like stand upright. But
that's not true. It's like a Disney movie when she wakes up. The birds are chirping, and the bluebirds are around. And
look, the other thing I have to do is I apologize for the way I look because because I'm just saying. Like, it was a day where I was, like, dripping sweat, and so I got a little bit of sun right here. Anyway.
So all of that said, what we're going to talk about today, because you said you had people in town. By the way, we also have several offers in today.
We do.
So we're waiting to hear back.
Yep.
Not for us, for clients, obviously. But we're going to talk, because we had several clients in, we wanted to revisit, as we passed Orchard Hills, by the way, we're on Tiny Road.
We are on Tiny Road. Remember Tiny Road?
Yeah. So the road where Amy cried. And we're actually kind of go the reverse. We went on a few weeks ago, and I think we're probably going to end up in Hamlin. We're going to end up in Hamlin because we've been there like 6 months. So we'll give you an update of what's coming, what's going on. Take a community there. But anyway, it got us to thinking that when you are coming to town and you want to go tour homes, we send our potential clients a little thing called Working with Amy, because expectations is kind of a word we use all the time. We want to set and meet and exceed expectations. And we take it very seriously when someone's coming to town and like they're thinking of moving here. And Amy, why do we take it so seriously?
Well,
because we did that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know that feeling.
It's our story. That's when we moved here. I had a phone call earlier today. Hi, David and Pat. I had clients earlier. That's exactly what we were talking about. Is why I do what I do is because we did what we did.
Yes.
And it's really rewarding to kind of help nurture and guide people through that same process.
And we take it very seriously. But here's the other thing. So we appreciate so many of you watch. And we have
why.
we have a system for sort of getting people into working with Amy, and oh my god, that's so cute! Double bicycle, that was awesome. The park that is sort of under construction out to our right.
Yep.
Now we are on. Is this Porter? This is still Porter. This is
No.
Porter. No, I don't know. Well, we're headed toward Hamlin, but
Enclave at Hamlin is Taylor Morrison's over there.
we're gonna go in there. Pull in there when you get there, just because.
We just did this the other day, though.
Did we pull in there?
No, we drove past it.
Yeah, we drove past it. Go in. One of our clients has a house built, and there's delay, but it's going okay, and they're being very good
Patient.
sports about it. Very
You know
patient.
who you are.
Yes.
Very patient.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes.
Anyway, so we have a system to sort of get people, and we get a lot of people that contact us, and we love every level of experience that you're at. If you're dreaming about moving to Florida, if you think, hey, maybe I'd like to move to Florida.
I had someone in town this week. She didn't know if she wanted to move to Florida.
So we still want to talk to you, still want to do that, but we wanted to give you a video to say, how do you think about it? How should you go about making that decision? And I have come up with the perfect philosophy. Are you ready? Of
Should
course
I be scared?
You, aren't you always scared? Yes.
Honestly, yes.
Yes. No, so this is going to, I feel that this is going to make sense.
Enclave at Hamlin.
Yes. Hamlin. This is, and if you haven't joined us before, it's gonna be like,
They're
why
really
are you
good
singing
at
that?
nuts.
Whenever I hear the word Hamlin, I literally do, and I've heard it every time we said it today. I hear in my head that little.
Do they know that those are our kids that did that?
No, yeah, our son Forrest and
Recorded
our son and daughter recorded that for us.
Anyway. Sorry.
So when I thought, how can we describe this to people?
Mm-hmm.
And what in the process, when the process gets messed up a little bit, why are they messing it up? And I have come up with the perfect plan, and it is the Vinnie Barbarino Questions.
Like John Travolta?
Yeah. So the Vinnie Barbarino
I'm
Questions.
so scared right now.
The Vinnie Barbarino Questions. So the first Vinnie Barbarino question is, no, not that guy. Welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that was the best song. I'm sorry.
Yeah, John Sebastian. Okay, so Vinnie Barbarino Questions. Obviously, they know exactly what I'm talking about, but the first Vinnie Barbarino question is, why? Now you get it? Why?
Stop.
I got you. Okay. So stupid, but it's so good. Why are you moving? Why? And by the way, anyone under 40 is like, who the hell is Vinnie Barbarino? Anyone under 30 is like, who's John Travolta? But still, we are who we are. We know what we want. We know what we know. Okay, so.
All right, that's very funny.
Why?
Why?
Okay, so why are you moving? So Amy, tell people how they should work through why they should move here. And by the way, this lovely row of homes here
is a lovely
may or
row
may
of
not
homes.
be where our client's home is. But
Chevy.
it looks like it's going well. We didn't say which one it was.
Right.
But it's going well. They'll be there soon.
No,
Okay.
but you know what?
Why?
In all seriousness, okay, I'm going to just giggle this whole time. So, yes, that is absolutely true. So, it is so fun to help people through the process when they want to move here. But you're right. They have to answer a series of questions for their own sake.
For themselves. Yeah, we're not going to put you through this.
Yeah. To know kind of why you say it. I can't do it.
Why?
Are you moving? Because for some people, it's, hey, you know what? We're retiring. That's what people do, right? They go to Florida. They retire in Florida. That's just what we do. Okay. Maybe that's your why. I don't know either. Perhaps it's because you're being relocated for a job. Perhaps it's that your job now allows you to work remotely, and so why wouldn't you want to work by your pool in the mornings?
Walmart on the right.
Walmart's on the right. And, obviously there's a multitude of reasons, just as there are a multitude of different people as to why you would want to move here. But it is kind of important for you to figure that out first, because if you are moving here and you're saying, oh, I'll get a job once I get to Florida, that makes it a little bit difficult to do a pre-approval with the expectation of, oh, I'll get a job once I get to Florida. That, unfortunately, and we have to talk a lot about pre-approvals at some point.
Yes.
Not that we're in the finance aspect, but a lot of just basic information that people need to know.
And I mean, Vinnie Barbarino didn't really have a question of how, But why and how?
If he did, it would have sounded just like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we hashtag him in this?
Sure, why not? Why? Okay. So, why and how? So, how? Do you have the financial means to do that? And that's a great question to talk to Amy about, because one of the things that happens is, and it's so frustrating to us, and it leads us to the next Vinnie Barbarino question, but is, some people call us and they say, well, I have $400,000. You know how much money that is? That's a ton of money.
That is 400,000 $1 bills floating on your bed. It is a nice old mattress of money.
I like that. So that leads us to the next Vinnie Barbarino question, which is tied to that money. The next two things are tied to that.
Yes.
But people jump immediately to the third Vinnie Barbarino question, which, as you know, is what? But the second Vinnie Barbarino question is where? That was a good one.
That was really good.
Okay, Ford's Garage over on our left, by the way. New restaurant coming.
I need
McDonald's up here on the. So, Amy, don't turn into McDonald's.
I won't. Although I did leave my drink at the house.
That's fine. Okay, but so where?
Okay.
So stupid. Okay, Ovation apartment, 55 plus apartments up here on the right. Not Ovation, I forget what it's called.
That's helpful.
Well, no, Ovation's down there, but I'll look for the sign. Overture. I knew it was with an O. Okay. I go to Overlook at Hamlin. Sure. Just for fun. Okay, so let's talk about either way. Okay, so let's talk about where, because where is about. Right. So, I'm never going to stop doing this, by the way. So where matters for the price too.
It does,
but also
where. So sometimes, and this is really important for anyone, anywhere in the country, in the world, trying to purchase a new home. You cannot, we have a lot of information that is accessible to us, right? Whether it's videos like this, whether it's the video tours that we do, whether it's just the builders' websites or just communities or bloggers or whomever, whatever. There's all sorts of ways for the regular consumer to get information. But the one thing that you cannot forget is that there's pieces to this puzzle that you may not understand. And a lot of those are very critical pieces. So I have a client right now that there's one floor plan that they want, and that is the only floor plan they will consider. Well, that floor plan is not an option. So you lock into something that doesn't exist, or maybe it's not in the right area for you, or maybe it isn't the right price for you, because you're making decisions before you've done or enlisted the help of someone like me or like Eric or your realtor wherever you are in the country that might know the area to tell you and to guide you a little bit more about, well, the home that you're looking for is available in these communities and these are the prices. And unfortunately, none of them seem to match up with what you're looking for. Or it could be the opposite. It could be, you're looking for this place because you really want to be in this specific school district. Well, maybe there's nothing available in that school district that's new construction. So it's very frustrating for people to kind of focus on one specific area or floor plan before.
And so the way that this reveals itself, hi neighbors, this is Amy sold a house here a little while ago. Beautiful house, good gracious. So the way that expresses itself in when you call Amy and say, because by the way, you call Amy first. Call Amy when you're thinking about why and where. And if you're thinking about why and where, okay, there was going to be a Horseshack moment right then, but I'm going to let that go for later.
Okay.
Ron Palillo as Horseshack. Okay, so
you have so much stuff.
I know it's imagine.
You should go on like one of those trivial.
I should go into a facility. So the thing is that when you call Amy and you're talking about where, what we do very often is if you're coming to town, first of all, and plan your dates if you can. Yeah. With Amy, like, okay, when's good to come? Because we get calls all the time. We're like, we're going to be here next Tuesday. Could you show us some homes? Right. Well, we don't know. Are you pre-qualified? We haven't answered the first two Vinnie Barbarino questions. So why we can talk about. You've already decided enough to be making a trip here to look for houses. Right. Which is great, by the way. But if you're thinking about where, we'll probably give you an itinerary. And we'll say, you should go drive first. Right. Let us know what you see and what you like. Because if you want a one-story floor plan with an open plan and a big kitchen island, every builder has something like that. Now, you have to make compromises, but that's part of what. So but the where has to happen first. So people, and the draws here are UCF on the other side of town, kind of from where we live. That's the easternmost part. Disney, obviously, probably the biggest draw is that, Horizon West, Winter Garden, and Disney are all sort of tied in together there. If you want to be in Windermere, and you want new construction in Windermere, we're probably going to tell you, well, there's not much that's in an affordable price point.
Right.
So that where we want to get you out and drive around. So don't schedule and think, okay, well, and also we have to know if you want to contract while you're here. That's so. Right. Some people are answering the where question, which is good, but are we going to contract? That's a what question. What do you think about where to go?
Just think about where I want to go.
I don't know. Just do what you feel. It's a Sunday drive.
It's a Sunday drive.
On a Saturday. I mean, no, I know, but anyway, by the time you're watching the Sunday drive, we'll be at the next soccer game when the heat index is going to be 104. Anyway, and our son plays left back, and he plays the full 90 minutes, and he's tired. Anyway, so now so we're going to send you out, and we're going to get you to look at where. Now we can talk you through some of the pluses and minuses of different areas, price points in different areas. But sometimes it's people have a gob of money, and we have to say, well, your budget doesn't really support living. Let's say, so Disney, the more you expand out from Disney, the better the price point gets. In other words, the lower the price per square foot of a home as you get further away from Disney, because Disney's a big draw, right? So we're going to send you out, and we're going to help you figure out where. So now, Vinnie Barbarino would ask you, what? So that's where your video tours come in very handy.
Confused.
About what? About why?
Why? No.
You mean about where we are?
I don't know where we are.
Oh, where?
No, it's no. I'm teasing. I'm not really confused. But yeah, I mean, we're
in the Overlook now, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're kind of, well, sort of, because
Overlook at.
So FYI, Hamlin. Okay, so we are, just real quick, Overlook and the Cove at Hamlin, both by Taylor Morrison. We've driven through here before, actually, but the Cove at Hamlin are the rear entry garage style homes, and then the Overlook is more of the front load garage, and we're kind of in the transition between the two. But real quick, can I just go back a minute? Welcome back.
Welcome back, Amy. Yeah, sure.
Just because this is important when you said, are you planning to contract? So this is probably the most important piece of information that you can provide your realtor, me, or whomever that realtor is if you're purchasing in another area, because clearly if you're buying in Florida, hopefully you're calling me.
And that's obviously your zodiac sign. That's what we need to know. You said the most important piece of information you can give it, and I was like, is your sign. I was kidding. Geez. I'm still in the 70s. I'm like,
I know, right? What?
I'm like,
what's your sign?
I'm like Freddie Boom Boom Washington saying, hi there.
See,
I got all the catchphrases.
Who was oh my gosh. It'll come to me later.
Okay.
There was another TV show. Like, the guy was like, Boomer.
Freddie Boom Boom Washington, yeah.
Was that it?
That's Welcome Back, Kotter. Yeah, his catchphrase.
No.
You thinking of Dynamite? You thinking about JJ?
No, not JJ. Anyway, okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, the most important thing you can tell your realtor is what your intention is when you come here. Kind of like the whole, kit and caboodle. Why? Because if you're not planning to contract while you are here, as you were just saying, it's more of, I just went through it, didn't I? I mean, a big old loop-de-loop.
It's a rerun.
It's a rerun. I love that. High five.
Was that the show, by the way? What's happening?
It wasn't.
No?
It was.
Okay.
It was a band, and they all had on the black leather jackets like Fonzie. And it was like, but it wasn't a band. It was a TV show about, like, I don't know.
A TV show about a band?
No, I don't know. It'll come to me later.
Okay, fine.
I remember the guy. Anyway, but if you're not planning to contract while you're here, it has nothing to do with the amount of attention that you'll receive.
Right.
It has everything to do with what we do. Because there is no sense looking at specific homes. You certainly can't look at resale because you're not going to be able to buy a resale right now. So we're not going to show those because it's not an actual viable option for you right now unless you're ready to move forward. Even focusing on specific communities and focusing on specific floor plans or looking at lots is not necessarily helpful. Now, if you're maybe a couple weeks away from contracting, then absolutely. But if you're like, no, I'm still probably, a year away, we put together a really nice itinerary to kind of help you and guide you so that you can do a little bit with us, but also on your own.
And it's not a generic itinerary.
No.
So we'll do a phone call, a pre-touring phone call, and usually I do that call, or we have our colleague Yanil do that call, because we want to. So Amy, by the way, the first time you talk to her, it's probably an hour or more conversation about why and where and what, and then we have her notes in front of us, and then we basically do it so we can compare it. You're not good at the moment.
Yeah.
We compare notes because we don't want again expectations. You are good in the left lane.
Okay.
We don't want you to come all the way to town and maybe Amy made a note about something and you changed your mind or whatever. So then we send you a thing about here's how touring's going to go. Like, for example, your mind is going to be melted after 4 hours.
Yes.
And sometimes
I think
it's
3 hours.
People are like, well, we came all the way to Florida and you're only going to spend 4 hours with us a day? Yeah, because you're not going to think straight after that. And Amy's really good at taking you to the right places that match what you're looking for. So.
Well, I always say that whenever we're together, including or excluding options is always progress. Mm-hmm. But in this market, we don't really have, especially for those, for those people who are a bit more serious, a little bit more time sensitive
Yes.
with their home search. We don't really have time just to sightsee. We can let you sightsee if you want to sightsee, but we're going to actually go look at really good options and opportunities for you right away. And I know that's hard. The conversation I just had earlier, it's like we probably already know where they're going to end up building, but they don't want to put their money out for the first place that they see. Totally understand.
Yep.
Absolutely. It would be silly to think anybody would feel comfortable with that. However, we certainly don't want to spend 4 days and then I lead you to the grand finale at the end of your trip, and that all of a sudden, if we had gone there first, there might have been a lot available that was absolute perfection for you that now is no longer there. And
if we go the second day, it might be $5,000 more expensive.
Exactly.
On the next day, which is just so true, but also just awful.
Yeah.
So Summer Lake Groves Street, we're on Summer Lake Park now. We're turning on Summer Lake Groves.
Yeah, I just thought I might loop through this
this neighborhood I like because it's named all after birds. We just passed Gray Kingbird. We're passing Redhead, Common Teal.
That's
nice. A bird, I guess. I don't know.
Is it?
Black Scoter.
I wonder if it's common.
It could be Black Scooter. That's cool. Anyway, so that we just wanted to give you a little bit of a guide for, and the Vinnie Barbarino thing. It literally was in my head, so I just said it. So you can go on Piping
Plover.
Plover.
Oh, you need glasses.
I do. That's terrible.
Piping Plover. It's a great vocal warm-up.
Piping Plover, Piping Plover, Piping Plover. Everyone say it 3 times fast.
Piping Plover, Piping Plover, Piping Plover.
That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too hard. Okay, so by the way, this is MI Homes, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
MI Homes community, Summer Lake Groves.
Beautiful.
We just passed a Newport or a
Newcastle.
They call it Newcastle
here.
on this one.
In case you're confused, their Newport and their Newcastle are essentially the same floor plan.
Anyway, so I wanted to give you that thing. So let's recap the Vinnie Barbarino questions without the goofiness.
Okay.
So first, if you're watching this and thinking we might want to move to Florida, think about why and a little bit of how. Like, do we have the budget for it? Do we have that thing? Reach out to Amy. We would love it if you call, if you reach out to us. Text is probably the best way, and we're gonna send you a little thing to give us sort of your why and your what and your where.
Yep.
To prepare for a phone call. You're gonna have that phone call, but just the point of this video is do your why first, but then do your where, because and where meaning not only broadly speaking. There's a beautiful community called Rivington that's up in the northeast part of where we are, where Wiltsy and Ingve, I love their names, by the way. Wiltsy and Ingve just contracted up there. It's beautiful. It's on the other side of town, but she works nearby.
Lovely.
And
it's a great spot for them.
Fantastic. But when they first came down, we took them actually over to Palisades and Claremont, over to Groveland, that kind of place.
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite right, but it was a driving itinerary. We gave them an itinerary for 2 days. We went west and we went east.
Yep.
On the east day, they went, whoa, we love Rivington. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Right.
So they did it. They kind of went in the right order. So think about why. Talk a little bit about where. If you come to town, do some driving around. By the way, we're happy to do some driving for you if you can't come to town and show you some things and talk to you about all that stuff. But you really have to dial it in because it's Orlando is the 19th largest metro area in the country. I think that's correct.
And
good. No,
and I know it's hard because some people are like, but we don't know where. That's why we're calling the realtor. We don't know where. Yeah. And I know that sometimes when people are doing their own home searches, I know this all the time. Almost probably every client, when they send me homes that they've been, like we've done a property search for them, and so they're automatically sent homes that seems to fit their criteria.
Just go slow right here and go really slow so the camera shows the sandhill cranes. Hi, sandhill cranes. This is nice. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed you up.
You did.
I'm sorry. But where I was going to go next anyway was...
Oh, you don't even give me a second to get my thought back, and now it's definitely gone.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Cotter. Mrs. Cotter. So what I was going to say is, in one video we said something a while back about don't come down here just to look around, and we didn't mean it that way. We were saying what we're saying now. I think we're saying it better now. Vinnie Barbarino has helped us. We're not saying don't come look. We're not saying don't call. We're saying know where you are in the process and share that with us. Please.
Didn't this happen last time?
It happens every time. This is our life.
I know. It's like old age. Anyway, no, but I was saying that sometimes when they send us homes that they've kind of hearted, that they like, that they're most interested in, I'll look at them and go, okay, you're over here in Poinciana, then you're in Kissimmee, and then you're in Davenport, but now you're over here in Lake Mary, and you got one in St. Cloud. Like, you're all over the map. And that's because they don't really necessarily know, and that is why you enlist the help of a realtor. So completely understand that. But it is really important to know that in one day you can't get to all of those places. And you might, see one home that's in one area, but it's going to take you an hour to get there. So that's why we will put together an itinerary, doing the kind of like the best, the most amount of options in one specific. Okay, I can say this. Let me try that again. Whoop. Okay. One area with the most options that could be potentially viable options that we'll kind of explore together, and then maybe you can go on your own the next day. And I do for my clients what I kind of would like to have done for me, and maybe that's not right, but I like to have some guided or some kind of a definitive area of where I'm supposed to go. But I'd also prefer to drive it with you so that you and I could discuss a little bit. Yep. If we see, that restaurant looks good, let's pull over. You got to go to the bathroom, let's stop and go get a Diet Coke. That we can do that as long as we know that we're not aimlessly driving around, not having any destination in mind. And usually when we do that itinerary, it is specifically go to this community, drive through this community. If you want to go in the models, ask for this person. We're going to take care of you in that regard. But anyway, and one other thing, and I know we're going to talk more about this later, but this is probably another really important thing because I cannot tell you the amount of disappointment when people have this realization that in any market, but most especially in this current real estate market, pretty much everywhere, you really cannot have any contingencies. Right. You really have to already have your home on the market and under contract, preferably, or even better, have it sold so that you're ready to move forward. For the people who are looking and they're ready to try to contract on something now, but they still have a home that they have to sell, it's heartbreaking because it's like we feel like you've just kind of wasted all your... I think they feel like they've wasted all of this time going, well, I'm here, I want to contract on something, and nobody will let them. And it's not me, I'll write the contract. It's the seller is not going to accept a contingency in 99% of the cases.
And just a quick recap, contingency means you either have a contingency to sell, meaning your home is on the market, but it's not sold yet, or in some cases, it's not even on the market yet.
Right.
Or a contingency to close means it is under contract to sell. That's better.
Yes.
But still once we get through appraisal and inspection, maybe they'll do. Right. But see, remember, you haven't wasted your time.
Right.
Because then our driving tour, the way we set that up is know where you love so you can pounce. Yes. When it is sold, we want to be able to say, hey, remember that community, Wincy Groves, that you loved? We said it's going to be resale, but guess what? Something came on the market today. And and by the way, your home, the inspection, the appraisal's over, you're closing in 2 days. Let's go out with a video tour. Even if you're in Kansas, let's go out, we'll do a video tour for you, and you can decide if you want to pounce.
Right.
If that makes sense. By the way, we passed a community back there I hadn't seen before, Park Square Homes. It's right next to Ravenna, and it's a Shore something, whatever. Shore, whatever.
So,
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
We're fine. Coming up to the Mark by Watermark, new shops.
It's coming along. We're very excited to have a little bit of commercial nestled here in the middle of the resale.
It's going to be cute.
Or in the cool. Residential, rather.
And our 17-year-old, 16-year-old son thinks that there's a Papa John's there, so he's very excited.
This reminds me a lot of, in Virginia, where I used to have my dance studio, was in a place called Kiln Creek. And it was nestled in a purely residential area, but there's like this one little strip of shops in there. Yeah. And that's where my studio was. So it's kind of, and it feels, it's like it's just nestled, and I like, so perfect word, it's nestled in kind of around the residential areas. We're in Watermark, by the way. I was just going to loop-de-loop through, because I always I like to do that.
And I think we're getting close to wrapping up, but I want to just go back real quick. So just know where you are in the process.
Yes.
Help us help you through that process, but know where you are. Don't be jumping right to what if we haven't figured out where.
Right.
And price point and all those things. And I'm just going to throw one more thing in, because why not? Because that's what we do. Know your deal breakers and non-deal breakers. There's almost nobody. So everyone's budget is a little too low. And the reason I say that is because no matter what your price point is, everybody wants the most they can get for their price point. So in almost every situation, you have to figure out what your compromises are. Can we not? So we can't really build a pool in that lot, but it's right in the school district we want. Or it's close to Disney, but the price point is really high, and we didn't want to spend that much, but we could, but we don't want to. You sort of have. There's always going to be a trade-off. If you have $6 million, you probably are still going to have trade-offs. But
this is the amenity center here at Watermark. One of the only 2 communities that have amenity centers that I always see people utilizing, and this is one of them.
And it's a Disney resort, essentially.
It absolutely is so beautiful.
So as we wrap up, I'm going to steal your phone, okay? Because I'm going to look at something. I want to share one story. Can I share one story about why we love our job?
Why?
So we had. Oh, look how cute she is.
Hi.
On the golf cart. So when we. We did a showing for a lovely family. We've shown them a bunch of houses, and they're trying to find the right thing. Yep. They've got a young daughter, and we've been seeing some houses that needed some work. And unfortunately, like we saw 2 houses one day, and they referred to one as the hot house because it was 98 degrees inside, and they referred to the other one as the gross house because it was really gross. They considered both of those houses because, again, trade-offs, right? Then the next day, we took them to just a home they lit up, and the little girl says, she calls her mom and dad Mummy and Baba. She said, Mummy and Baba, this is our house. We have to buy this house. It's ours. And so while we're driving around, I'm going to have to put it on the screen, but I'm also going to look on Amy's phone as she wraps it up. There's an offer in, and we're close, but we don't know. It could go either way. And so it's like we get a little bit emotionally invested in these things. A little. And so I'm going to check Amy's email while you wrap it up, and we'll see. And I'll put it on the screen if they got it or didn't get it.
Don't do that.
Well, we'll know by tomorrow. We're going to know by then.
I know, but...
Well, we didn't get an email yet.
It's a Papa John's truck.
They're getting ready over there. Okay, we didn't get an email yet, so we don't know. But I'll put it on the screen, and you can know that if I just put on the screen that they didn't get it, that our hearts are broken. Right. You can know that if I just put on the screen that they got it, because by the time this airs, we'll know.
That's true. Yeah.
You'll know that we literally we're going to cry. Yeah. We're probably going to cry either way. But if it doesn't work out, there will be other homes. It'll be fine. Your earring is like straight out, like it's a hoop, like it was like out like that, like I could shoot.
All right, you wrap it up.
No, listen. Okay, inside the marriage. This is it right now. Therapy. You're the witnesses. If I didn't say something, right, then she would see the video and go, why didn't you tell me that my earring was straight out sideways? But if I say something, then she gets angry. This is my conundrum. And every time it happens, I think to myself, what?
Oh, God.
See, that was full circle. See,
that was full circle. You know what? Well done.
Thank you.
Jeez.
We need more of that in the world. When you do something good.
Horizon High School.
Yes, High Horizon High School.
New year.
We need more. Like when you do something good, you should be able to go. A pistachio, as we used to call it.
All right. Okay, that's enough. We're done. We've got to be done.
Look at her. She's like. Okay, I'm done.
I can't even sometimes.
May tomorrow be a perfect day. So, I didn't work in Epstein's mother into this. Do you remember that on Welcome Back, Kotter? He was like, "Dear Mr. Kotter, please excuse Juan Epstein from class yesterday. He was sick. Signed, Epstein's mother."
Oh, so, I want that show.
I know. We'll go on. Well, I'm sure we can find it. Okay.
Okay. All right. We gotta go.
Goodbye. But, Avalon Cove in front of us.
It is Avalon Cove in front of us. So we didn't do a lot of. Go left.
Yeah.
Why?
No. Never mind. Go right. You're right. I know where you're going.
God. Anyway, so we have a great topic for our next Sunday drive. In fact, candidly, we were gonna go somewhere else today and drive, but. The vitamin D, while it was great and it made us super happy, it also made us super tired. So
yeah, true.
We wanted to stick a little bit closer to home. So
what's our topic? Why am I so dumb? What's the topic?
We're going to go take a look at our new house under construction right now. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, I know, but what's our next topic?
I'm not going to tell them.
Oh, I don't even know what it is. Okay, cool. I'm teased as well. Okay.
All right, we got to go.
Goodbye, we're out.
All right, guys. Hey, seriously, though, thank you so much. Please stay safe. Stay well. We love you. Happy house hunting.